Welcome to Preston Point. We're here at the home of the East Fremantle Lacrosse Club. We're going to watch the final game of pool play here, and we are watching South Australia versus Western Australia. It's going to be a cracker. I'm joined here by Shendell Oliver. How are you, Shendell?
Yeah, very good, thanks. But I don't know if I'm going to be staying long. I might have a little interchange coming in, and people are probably sick of hearing my voice today, Pete, so might have a surprise guest.
Oh, look out, look out. Awesome. Great to hear.
Just keeping on your toes.
Yeah, far out. Now I best be on my best behaviour.
Yeah, 100%.
Look, this is going to be a big game. These two teams, the table's set, really. They will be playing against each other again tomorrow. So this is really a dead rubber in the scheme of things, but both these teams are going to want to take the win. South Australia really disappointed after their game against Victoria. They thought they would have played better, but Western Australia also going down to the Vics. So the Vics will finish on top, and the winner of this game will finish second. You got any goss, Shendell?
This one's really hard to call. I can't pick a winner right now of this game. I think these teams are actually quite evenly matched. I think WA started really well last night against Victoria, and if they can come out with that momentum, I think they're going to take South Australia down. South Australia have had a couple of days to go away, reset, regroup, and find their high performance. Yeah, I think they've had more time to scout, so that could be the difference for them. So I as I'm stuttering and lost for words, that's where I'm at.
Look, for me, if Liam Philippa for South Australia is on his game, it's going to make it very hard for Western Australia to score. And on the flip side, there's kids in the WA team like Will Frencham who can really take the game on their own shoulders and make a huge difference. So it's really going to be a battle of whoever wants it most, like most games. But yeah, I agree. They are very evenly matched. And I think we're in for a cracking game of lacrosse on this Good Friday night. Caleb Tuxford goes straight out to the face-off X. His opponent will be Tyson Gill from WA. And Caleb Tuxford, a young fella, he's first under-18s tournament, played in South Korea on part of that under-16 Aussie squad or Aussie team.
Yep.
So lot of hope. They go for it. There's a good battle. Caleb Tuxford does come up with it. Great work. Transition straight away. The shot's had. It's gone straight into a defender. So the ball whiz now loose.
That would hurt, that swearing that one.
Toby Virgo, long pole for South Australia, also in that Aussie team, comes up with the ball and just settles it down with Max Williams. Williams just allowing the South Australian offense to get the right personnel on. Attenborough down at the bottom right. Back up to Williams.
Attenborough, an experienced campaigner for sure. I certainly know that name.
Yep, his brother Riley as well is a great player.
Yes.
From the Brighton Lacrosse Club, the Attenborough family. They've got a long history. Williams looks to be setting up for the drive. Goes up against it. Nothing happening. Gets it down back low to X. Just moving the ball around. Matt Ross with the ball.
Here's that formation starting to go now. There's that little pick and roll move.
Big shot from Attenborough, but a great save by the goalie. Goalie for WA is Nathan Lance. He's starting. Great clear. That's a beautiful pass down to Gill.
Yeah, Glass, good job there on that outlet.
Just Western Australia now will get their right personnel on as Tom Warren just moves it down deep into the offense. Warren now up to Everell. Gill has a short stick opponent, likes it, but doesn't commit fully. Ball goes around now. Warren again, goes underneath, gets up high, the slides come, gets some space. Just holds possession, I don't mind that.
Yeah,
Still
good
early in the
decision.
game, still early.
Good decision not to pull the trigger there because he had the two-man slide package coming. What I'm going to do is hand over to a friend of mine who's a special guest, but it's actually his network. So, TK, I'm going to let you have the mic.
Ball with Warren. Now with Gill. Gill really trying to go hard against the short stick opponent. The pass isn't that great. Goes to McCracken. McCracken picks the ball up, has the shot, and Filippa makes a great save. Quick clear, Virgo now. Gets it across. Ross, they've got a transition ball here. Ross gets it down to Mead. Mead can't quite put it away. Ball goes out of bounds. And there is South Australian backup. Tim, welcome, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Great to be here. Great to be back. Good night here. Beautiful night here down at East Fremantle, Preston Point Oval, home of the Blues.
You're very lucky. You got a great club here, great fields and beautiful view of the Swan River.
No, beautiful little facility down here, and it's ideal on a night like tonight. Great to see two fantastic rivals in South Australia and Western Australia go head-to-head. It doesn't matter what you're playing for. It's always a war every time we go and step on the field. So
absolutely it is. As SA just not really doing too much damage to the defence of Western Australia so far. Ross, or Bias that is. Great pressure by WA's defence, but SA still holding possession. This is Ross now. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Ross puts it on his left and has the shot. Ball goes out of bounds, backed up by Bias.
Nathan Lance in the cage tonight for Western Australia. Ben Mason, I thought, did a fantastic job against Victoria tonight. But a bit of a different look here for WA. Nathan Lance coming in and certainly looking to be on his toes. Of course, young Filippa down the cage at the other end. Class act for South Australia. So interesting goalkeeping battle tonight.
Yeah, look, I've said it a number of times while I've been commentating. We are really lucky in Australia. We got some really great goalies as Mead finds himself with the ball on the crease and just sticks it down the ankles of Lance. South Australia get first blood here, and Mead just got a great look from his teammate there and put it away nicely.
Oh, look, that was a fantastic lead. Fantastic view there. Vision to be able to get that through the sticks. Nice, beautiful backdoor cut. Tyler Mead there. Not a lot of space there. Western Australian defence probably not as locked onto that backdoor cutter as they perhaps should have been. But still, I mean, credit where credit's due. Mead got the hands free and a real clinical finish there, and not a hell of a lot Lance could do on that shot.
How are you finding the shot clock, Tim? Have you had a chance to officiate a shot clock game on the field game?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, we ran it at Senior Nationals last year for the first time, and look, I mean, it's a really good replacement for the stall. The stall is becoming more ineffective, particularly as the stick skills improved. And you find here, even last night, you know, the shot clock forced even the side in the lead to go to cage and do something. So it creates opportunities. So, look, I think it was a big storm in a teacup in terms of whether we implemented it or not. I think it's a really good little thing for our game.
Yeah, it's certainly taken away the slow clear as well, which me as a coach, I loved that tactic, particularly if I was up by a couple of goals, but cannot use that one anymore. South Australia just having another attacking spell and a bit of an unforced error there. So WA now with the chance to clear this ball.
And for the viewers at home, this, of course, is one of the subtle differences now with shot clock in play. We've got 20 seconds to clear the ball over the halfway line. The over and back is still a thing, but it doesn't lock on until 60 seconds. So WA right now could go over and back as many times as they want with 67 seconds on the shot clock. As it hits 60, you'll hear the officials say under. Then it is locked in. So that's when we have our over and back scenario kick in. So that right now, WA now locked into their offensive half.
Yep. Great to have that insight, Tim. You've got your finger on lots of pulses, and officiating is one of them.
My wife would say probably too many, I think. So, you'd be looking for a bit of discipline here, Pete. Like, and this was the problem that they had sort of yesterday. I think WA, where Victoria got back into the game and where they've really stood out this tournament has been their offensive discipline. And again, sort of unforced turnovers creeping in early for both sides here.
Yeah. Ball just with Tragutha. He finds his way inside, gets a stick, gets a shot away. Filippa good enough to save it. And
love it when a keeper comes out of the cage, Pete, raises that stick. You know he's looking for one thing there, old Filippa. Certainly looking to go the old chop there, but managed to miss the lot. But every goal is the same. Sean Aaron loves it. They all love it. Getting out of there, so really interesting stuff behind the cage.
Kind of fair enough, though, because I know as an attacker, I always used to like making friends with the goalie when he was out of the crease too.
Tom Warren there pushing there. Got a little bit of contact in the back there. Yeah, good job there. Warren got himself over the ball there with body position. Great turnover. Sort of forced the South Australian player to didn't have a lot of options there to nudge the back, and a good call by the official.
So 55, the call from the coaches. Finn Everall looks to take on his short stick defender. Rolls back inside. Nothing happening. Now with Glass. Glass gets it down low. Warren. Tregurtha. Now McCracken. McCracken just getting a lot of pressure there from Banjack. Those two teammates in the under-16 Aussie squad. The skip pass is not been able to be held onto as McInerney races the ball down. Now with Clothier. Clothier gets the shot off and he gets it. Clothier will be very happy with that one. He just found himself, no one coming to him, ran down the alley and just slotted it past the goalkeeper.
Certainly a defensive breakdown there. You'd be looking for that guy on the opposite crease corner to slide across the crease to try and shut that down. And I think Western Australia probably a couple of steps late there. But one real big difference there you would have seen, particularly in the West Australian offence, I think something Victoria did really well was that dink-dink dodge scenario. You know, Finn Everall, superb young player for Western Australia. Probably not necessarily. I'd like to see him commit a little more to that sweep here for Western Australia and hit X, change the field to sort of change the view, turn the heads a little bit. But no, South Australia punishing Western Australia on the counter.
Yep, absolutely. A couple of transition opportunities for South Australia. I did hear someone from the WA officials team or a manager or statistician just saying this is a very young Western Australian team, Tim.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a few faces here, a few players from the U16s last year, and I think, you know, those guys are being, you know, they've stepped into real leadership roles within the side. Will French and young McCracken, Finn Everall, another one. So they're really stepping into those leadership roles. And South Australia, a mature squad, a really good squad, obviously coming off a couple of championships in this division. So, you know, a bit of a challenge here, but I mean, you know, tonight's a real interesting one for both sides. Just a bit of a feeler upper, see how they're going for tomorrow, because tomorrow's obviously they're playing for the big stakes.
That's right. So South Australia again, just pushing the long pole. That's Mead, scored that goal before. Gets it across to Jake Matthews. And a bit of a tussle for the ball here, a few shoves, a few pre-checks, but it ends up coming up with Regalievich. Great pickup from the long pole there. Just getting absolutely hassled by Matthews. Lucky Matthews didn't have a hand in the back there.
No, and there's waiting for the timeout call there. You know, your nerves of steel, the West Australian coaching staff, to not ping one there with your long pole getting it in the offensive half.
And there it is. There it is.
I was going to say, you always keep one in your pocket, I was saying last night, Pete. The minute you see that long pole into your offensive half, burn it. The second they get under the pressure, burn it. But
and in the earlier boys game today as well, we saw one where the player just got it over the halfway line and was getting pushed out, and the timeout call was made. It was brilliant.
Keep one in your back pocket, Pete. But look, like I say, you only give the long pole so many opportunities to go to the cooker, and if they don't do it, get it out of their stick quickly.
That's it. 2-0 here in favour of South Australia. Bailey Attenborough with an assist. Josh Clothier with a goal and Tyler Mead with a goal. Tim, obviously I had a daughter play in that Australian under-16 team. She had a great time. How did you feel, obviously, in your role as a Lacrosse Australia director? That was a really great thing to be able to put together?
Oh, no, look, absolutely. I think it's really important that we take a real strong leadership role within the Asia-Pacific region when it comes to lacrosse. The APLU, you know, hats off to the APLU for reaching into that U16 division. Obviously, it's probably the youngest team I think we've ever sent away as an Australian squad. And look, yeah, the team played well. They dominated the event. So it's nice to sort of go to those events and sort of establish yourself. But I think more importantly, it just sort of aids the region a little bit. And hopefully it kickstarts something. So, you know, I'm hoping our players got a lot out of it, you know, really step into that Sixers format. But more importantly, you know, the region supports it. And hopefully we do it again next year.
Yeah, I think while the competition, I think the kids would have liked a bit more competition. It was really great for them to see how the other countries are developing and actually how much lacrosse has grown. So Absolutely, while they may not have benefited skill-wise from it, they certainly benefited from understanding the game a lot more.
We would do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it was great. WA had just called that timeout. Finn Everall now can take. Oh, got his hands
There
free.
we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's where you want that. Really, that's where you want those WA players to really use that power to string off the top and create the shot.
But again, South Australia on transition. Toby Virgo has the shot. Big save by Lance. Virgo would have loved to have scored that. He would have celebrated.
Coming in from downtown, Pete. What? Gotta love those shot angles. He's got the shot angle down pat, young Virgo.
Yeah, Virgo, long pole, one of the long poles that actually played in that Aussie team. So good to see. One of the arguments people make about sixes is that it's not a game for long poles. Well, here you go. You've got a kid who's a great long pole player playing in that sixes format.
Look, and that's an interesting one there on that shot because, he did a great job in transition there. But one of the things I think, South Australia and Victoria, it takes a little while to adjust when they come over to Perth is it's just that variable bounce. There's a real kick in the turf here, particularly at Preston Point.
Yeah.
Can be a little bit sort of, you hit the right spot, it takes off on you. But, if he has that one again, especially that long pole coming from downtown, use the turf, rip it up. That's going to come up at a 90-degree angle.
Great trail check, but held on well by Bias. He gets it down to X.
South Australia getting a nice little possession here. 60 seconds off the shot clock, getting everyone a bit of a touch. Obviously sticking to their systems.
Having a crack too, making the defenders move. Can create options. The pass kept in well. Valentic just running around the back. Not Valentic. Sorry, that's Toby Vickery. Great work on the defence there by Jet Hall. That was beautiful defence, just kept him down below GLE, especially while that shot clock was going, and that's a great defensive set by WA.
Absolutely, and one thing with the shot clock, it's not so much, it's the old plane still kicks in except with shot clock. So as long as they get the ball out of the stick prior to the expiration of the shot clock, the shot's still a good shot. So really good job there with WA, keeping them down the bottom as Glass playing big ball across through the middle, but couldn't hold on to the ball.
So Bias now has... he's covered by Barneville Lab. And now, with a fresh shot clock, South Australia will probably look to get some fresh legs on.
Yeah, 3 minutes to go here. South Australia going to look to try and pad that lead a little bit. Hopefully take a little bit of time out of the clock. Nothing silly here. We don't, obviously not going to be pushing to injure any players or anything like that this evening, but certainly want to send a message today. And, nice goal here sends a real strong psychological message to WA that, ahead of tomorrow in particular.
Yep. Attenborough to Williams. Williams likes his matchup, gets his hands free, and I think that's hit the post. Come back out, and the shot by Attenborough just going wide, but really aggressive at the goal, South Australia. This is entertaining and good to see.
Another 80-second shot clock there.
Attenborough tries to use his body, but Rowan Glass too strong. Pass not good. Goes loose. Picked up, though, by Tregurtha, and in the end ends up with Everall.
Yeah, nice GB there from WA. Not the prettiest clear, but you know what? You'll take them just to make sure you can get out there, get into your offensive half. And 2 minutes to go in the quarter here. An opportunity for a good set here. Western Australia like to get one on the board before the break.
Yeah, absolutely. One here. They'll go into the break up and about 2-0 at the moment. They go in 2-1. They're really happy. McCracken gets it down low. Tregurtha now has the shorty, goes to step, and there it is. Great option, finding the mismatch with Tregurtha on a short stick, and great change of angle, Tim, shooting from high to low.
Yeah, that's right, and that's where I think the shot selection early in this one probably hasn't necessarily been what Afiq Jackson and his coaching staff would be looking for. Valepa is an outstanding keeper. He's in our Sixers squad at a national senior level. You really can't be shooting to him sort of that hip side, stick side. You've got to make him work. And Tregurtha there, the first time I think I've seen tonight really come that corner, change the angle, make him work, and not a lot Valepa could do on that.
Yeah, great work, WA, and as we were saying, would have loved to have got that one, and they did. Ball's loose now. Bit of a tussle for the ground ball. Picked up nicely by Nesbitt. He's hassled by the offense that have come up to try some riding. But the passers just getting rushed a bit. Clothier picking the ball up. And a timeout called South Australia.
That's a good timeout. A minute to go here. An opportunity to sort of say, look, Anson's quite an aggressive coach,
Yeah.
but a minute to go here, you'd be almost saying, look, this is where the shot clock becomes really interesting from a coaching perspective, right? You've got 76 on the shot clock, 50, about a minute or so left in the quarter. There's a real opportunity for South Australia here to say, look, hey, let's make sure we're getting the last shot here in this quarter. Let's not give WA an opportunity. Worst case, we go in with a 2-1 lead. Best case, 3-1 lead. We're feeling good about ourselves. So it'd be really interesting to see the set that they come out with here. They're not going to want to show their best sets tonight, I would have thought.
No, I wouldn't have thought. No.
But, just clock management, it's something that's going to creep in with the shot clock. So a real good opportunity to have a look here.
Just a bit of a side note, Tim. You've got young Ben Mason. Is it a WA thing about having goalies with nice flowing mullets?
Well, Bidwell Barton certainly set what I wouldn't. It's hard to call it a standard, and it's funny what a difference. You got Bidwell Barton, Jay, with the flowing locks, and now National Sixers squad, and of course you got Shawnee Aaron, the nice and prim and proper bloke. Tell you anything else, little Mr. Serious. But mate, we like to have fun out here. Have fun out here in the West, and the nice glowing locks, as you'll probably catch it there on the screen. No, I think Benny learning a little bit from Jay on that one, mate.
It was great in New Zealand. You had the tallest player in the tournament in Jay Bidwell Barton and the shortest player in Cody Watts, both goalies for Australia.
Mate, it makes for a great team photo, that's for sure, especially when you put the two of them next to each other.
So 1 minute to go. South Australia just called a timeout, getting pushed really hard by WA. South Australia now getting it low. Just maybe doing what Tim suggested and holding it up.
Yeah, take the time a little bit here. There's no rush. You're not going, and this is where this is the counter to the stall, right? Because this is where you probably would have thought about putting a stall on.
Yeah.
But this is where South Australia, use the clock to your advantage here. Don't give WA an opportunity.
And they're moving the ball well. Tyler Mead likes to push in, does so, gets the shot away. No harm done. They've backed it up.
No, absolutely no harm done there. Key being backup.
Yes.
Had backup, keep the ball. No reset on that. Didn't hit the goalie or the goal post. So no reset.
Comes around on the left. That's a goal. Oh. Really happy with that is Max Williams. He doesn't mind a celly, and Max Williams will be happy with that one.
Mate, that's the absolute best case scenario. You get a nice goal there on the corner. Really great job there taking the corner. Got the matchup that he liked. Got himself a really good channel. Again, that second slide from WA probably coming about a little bit too late. I mean, we saw that with the second goal as well. That second slide needing to apply that pressure a little bit earlier to just try and keep him out of that shooting lane. So, but, really well drawn up play there by South Australia. And yeah, they would be pretty thrilled with that.
So one last face-off, you would imagine. Tuxford up against Gill. Tuxford comes up with it, but dispossessed. Re-gets the ground ball. Good effort by Tuxford.
Yeah, that's a nice strong face-off there from Tuxford. Tuxford obviously a real up-and-comer. Such an important position in men's field, still always will be. And no, that's a really good win there. Had control of that the whole time.
Ball's come loose, but 10 seconds on the clock from what we can see. South Australia do get back with possession. John Mills has the feed, but the quarter time whistle goes here at Preston Point. 3 goals to South Australia, 1 to Western Australia, and not a bad start to the game, Tim.
No, I'm sure there's some South Australians back home that would have been more than happy to have called that as the final whistle of the game, I'm sure. But no, look, a probing first quarter for both sides. South Australia is certainly having the rub of the green there. I think they're doing a really good job with the ball. Probably just a little more composed on offense, moving the ball around a little bit, turning heads, making sure they're creating the opportunities for themselves. But, I mean, look, WA had their opportunities there, as I say, a little bit more aggressive on offense and just getting those better shots on for Leper, I think. I think this game's still nicely poised for both sides.
Oh, I agree. I don't think Western Australia are out of it by any stretch. They've got some great young players that can really step up and grab the ball by the horn, so as they say. Tim, the lights here at East Fremantle, are you on the committee of East Fremantle or just a life member?
No, just a life member now.
Yep.
So off the East Fremantle committee, but I mean, you know what it's like, club life. You've been down here long enough, whether you're on the committee or not, you tend to be connected and involved with everything going on. So,
yep.
This is a bit of an upgrade for East Fremantle. Obviously, we've cut 3 new light posts coming in around the ground. We hosted the LWA final series last year. Had the women's fantastic, unbelievable women's state league grand final here under lights.
Excellent.
So no, look, it's always great, and especially here, you want that opportunity for people to come out in their home state and be able to watch that. So you see a lot of WA under lights, and I know it's certainly been something I've been really keen on when we sort of draw up these fixtures to make sure that we kind of are giving the home state an opportunity to sort of get people out after work, after school,
100%.
come and see the games that they want to come and see. So that's why we got these games here today. But of course, we'll be down your way in June, and big opportunity for the local South Australian fans to get out and watch their Reds in action.
Yeah, absolutely. Great news hearing Sturt was successful in winning the rights to host the Senior Nationals in 2026. I was a big part of the 2023 games down there as the club president at Sturt at the time. And whatever they threw at us, we tried to deal with. And you would remember very well, Tim, the torrential rain that we had and the nightmare.
Mate, I tell you, look, ever since I've gotten involved with competitions from a director perspective, I think I must have walked under a ladder or kicked a black cat or something, because we've had monsoons, we've had heat waves, lightning, we've had everything. But touch wood, so far so good this week. Beautiful West Australian weather, just a little bit of that breeze, that Freo doctor starting to come in a little bit today.
Has been beautiful. As we get this second quarter underway, Tuxford couldn't quite get possession, but I do think he won that face-off. It is going to go the way of South Australia, though. Just a little infringement noticed there by official Zach Tremlett.
Yeah, nice blend here on the crew tonight. Adam Holmes from Victoria, Zach Tremlett from South Australia, and Keanu Highwood from Western Australia, the 3 on-field officials for this evening.
Fantastic. And as always, they're doing a great job this week, Tim.
Yeah, it's always good. And the 18s is a really good tournament to officiate. High stakes, high pressure. The kids really get into it and do a great job. So, look, they've done well. If you don't see them, then they're doing a great job.
Exactly. So Tyler Mead with the ball at X. Lights his match up again. He's had a go at this defender quite a number of times, Evans. Still with the ball, Mead. Great work by Evans, though. He's really held up Mead. And the WA defence are really pushing out and locking off the adjacents. Mead thought he had some run in, didn't, and that is some excellent defence there by Connor Evans.
Probably a little lucky there, WA. I thought Mead had a couple of steps, and again, that second slide was really hesitant as South Australia turned the ball over.
So the ball's loose now. WA throwing the ball down. Could go offside, the SA lad, but in the end, he's actually flicked it out of bounds. Yep, the officials agree. That's come off the red stick. He was running at a rate of knots as well, so I do think that if he had picked that ball up, he may have stepped over the halfway line with a head full of steam, but...
No, he was certainly going for it, wasn't he? And unlucky there, just swinging the ball around there. But, I mean, that's that commitment to the ground ball that you want to see. That's fantastic. That's strong defence from the South Australians.
EJ Payne with the ball, gets it down low. WA just taking some time to let their defenders have a bit of a rest. Just moving the ball, keeping it at X, looking at the right matchups, who they're going to go through. Payne now with the ball at the top, across to Everill. Everill, he's been rushed by Virgo, tried to get past him, but Virgo good enough just to hold him. Tregurtha now, just ball got dispossessed, but still there's a flag on the play.
You've seen something just off ball there. As a great shot from McCracken there. Bit of a worm burner for Leper down there to meet it as we just wait and see what the call is. I saw there's a flag off the backside. Yeah, interference. That would be about right. Probably just a bit of off-ball shenanigans going on.
And with the flag now, Tim, and the shot clock, if the ball's loose, there's no whistle.
No, so massive change coming in with the shot clock is that change in the slow whistle. So instead of having, ending when the attacking possession's over, now a lot more aligned closely to sixes.
Yep.
So you'll see there the ball hit the deck, and if you're wondering what's going on, it's that change of possession now that'll trigger that. So so the play will continue a lot longer.
It was explained to me you don't have possession of the ball, you have possession of the shot clock.
Exactly right. You own that 80 seconds, and you're free to do what you want until you lose the ball.
WA just moving the ball well, using this power play opportunity. A big shot, got to be good against Philippa, and Philippa saw that all the way into his stick. just launched it up the field, and unfortunately, Clothier just didn't realise that was coming, so WA turning the ball over. Ball loose again now, though.
Yeah, Philippa really reaching for the touchdown there, but an incomplete pass. Just throwing a little too much pepper on that one over the top.
Philippa in the end comes out, grabs the ground ball. Ball's passed down the field and ends with Clothier. Just gets it over halfway. Great hassle by his opponent there in Rowan Glass.
Going to want to be careful there, throwing that willow around a little recklessly at the moment. Just giving that last little back check there. Certainly doing a really good job putting the pressure on, and a good timeout there.
Timeout, yeah. That's the one, Tim, isn't it? The one you've been keeping up your sleeve.
Yeah, hold it up your sleeve a little bit. And I mean, look, Glass probably a little lucky there to get away with one, sort of getting a little bit willing there.
Yeah.
I mean, the one where you kind of lose the benefit of the doubt is that trail check when you fall behind and you throw the big one-handed wrap. And there was a couple of those creeping in there, but the officials letting them play, which is good to see.
Yeah, I don't mind that, so long as it doesn't get too out of control. But I'm sure these refs are really experienced, and they would knock that on the head pretty quick.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But that's what you're looking for as an attacking player. Like, I think it's just really, you got to try and, well, even when you're playing defense there, I mean, officials, what they look for there is they look for that control in what you're playing, right? And as soon as you start to get yourself out of position, the one hand comes off the stick, you start to see that coming back from that 90-degree angle. And especially from a body position there, when you're out of position, you sort of start to lose the benefit of the doubt there a little bit, and the official starts to go, well, hang on, I'm going to be a little more likely to throw here, because, look, to be honest, it's just not a good check.
No, it's not.
So, no, lucky enough to get away with one on that one there. But, look, great timeout. He was under pressure. And, nice opportunity here with 60 on the clock to just take a breath.
That's it. Yeah, as an attacker, I would always try and have a go at my defender as he was running away from me. And as soon as I let that one go and the stick hit the player, I knew straight away that I was going to probably be spending some time in the bench. But this time out, a very smart one by SA as the player, Clothier, was just getting harassed a little. Smart timeout, and they'll just settle their charges now. They'll get the right personnel on, and they'll probably look to try and get another goal here as they want to make it 4-1.
Yeah, look, it's been a bit of a defensive struggle early here. We've run a few minutes here, a few possessions. No one really threatening just yet. So they're going to want to try and get a nice little possession here, slow things down a little bit, as you can see. Just jumping out into a nice spread formation with Mead on the crease. Everybody sitting on the outside getting a touch.
So ball ends up in X. Attenborough spend a lot of time down at X. Moves it up around to Mills and then Ross. Williams now with the ball. Williams trying to have a go at a long pole. Pick comes across. Nice little roll by Ross, but it goes to Mills. Mills now just dispossessed by the defender, Barneville Lab. Moving it to X.
18 on the shot clock. Going to want to slowly start to get the skates on here. Keen to see him get the ball up high here and start to press.
Vickery looks to roll inside, has the shot and he's pumped one. A little bit under pressure, young Vickery, but rolled inside and got one on the left side.
Oh, that's some strong lacrosse there, Pete. Sort of started to push it up, and as I was saying, you kind of want to start to see that ball go up. But, when you got that one-on-one situation and the shot clock running down, you're going to want that little bit of individual brilliance to create something out of nothing there. And that's such a beautiful little roll dodge there by Vickery to get the space and get the hands free to get off a really good shot.
Yeah, I don't mind seeing a small left-hander roll back inside and getting those goals, Tim.
Mate, they're pesky most of the time, aren't they? And they're usually the ones that have a little bit of lip as well. So I don't know if young Vickery follows that tradition, but they're the feisty ones, the little lefties.
I never had much lip as a player.
But you had the roll dodge like that, didn't you?
Just on that, keep the comments online. Just keep them to yourselves. I don't need my dirty dark secrets getting out. As the flag on the play now, so South Australia actually have the opportunity to use up all 60 seconds that is left on the shot clock. There's no urgency to go to the goal, but Ross has found the pass inside to Attenborough, but what a save there by Lance.
Great save by Lance there, and this is a call on the far side there, obviously coming out hands too far apart, too much bar on the player, and that's a really tricky one because you see it with the PLL and you see, particularly in college lacrosse, big fans of that. But men's field lacrosse, using the bar, that's a hold.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be a hold or a cross check if you put a little bit of love on that, and he's obviously put a little bit of love on that one.
Yeah. Williams now has a great big hole that we can see from where we're sitting. He could step inside. Ross down to Williams again. They've shut that hole down. Mead now back up to Williams. Over to Ross. Ross could let it go. He does. It's come off a stick. And the shot has been backed up by Vickery.
I think Cooper Rigolevich there with the free tattoo as he's jumped out there and worn one there for his keeper.
Williams now can step up. Mead rolls outside of that crease. Has the shot. Gets it away. That has gone, I think, between Lance's legs. Great work. That's the same move they've just done previously, but Mead, instead of throwing it away, has a shot.
No, look, really good finish there from the outside. Probably got a little bit too much space for what the defence would have liked. A little slow on the rotation there. Left a little bit too long on that outside on the 45, and just a really, really good finish there by me. We had a great view of that shot from where we're sitting. Bottom corner, kissed the dirt, hit the inside of the pipe. Fantastic. Great finish.
So in that man-up play, Mead's rolling out of the crease as Williams comes high, and there's no defence coming to him. There's no talk from
exactly
the
right.
defenders.
No, that's right. It's just that second slide, probably a couple of steps too slow and kind of pushing out. SA dropping the extra man into the offence, stepping out, creating the space. You need that extra rotation to kick a little bit earlier. Just shut down that distance shot.
So Matthews now with the ball up the top. Over to Ross. Getting it down low to Attenborough. Now to Williams and Mills. Back up the top now. Matthews. Matthews has the shorty, likes his option, has the go. That's a long shot. Really long shot, but it didn't miss by much, Tim.
No, a lot of power on that. Nice sweep from across the top there. And I mean, obviously those players with those options there, they go for the sweep. Shot's on great, if not kick it on.
Williams has a bit of a hole that he likes. Gets it back down to X. Attenborough plays with his head up. The pass has, I think, been knocked down, but South Australia retained possession.
Yeah, kicking around there. 30 seconds on the shot clock. No rush. Still got plenty of time. This is still plenty of time for a really good set.
Williams across to Matthews. Down to Attenborough. Attenborough rolls back inside, gets up high, can't get his hands free, and he's fallen over. Great defence there, and now Lance with the option to throw high, does so, finds Gill. Gill now just getting held up. Great ride by South Australia here just to slow any transition opportunity.
Look, a fantastic non-call there on the corner there. That was a really nice slide. Physical slide, shut that down. That's those slides we want to see. Comedian sliding with purpose and shutting it down. But Western Australia losing the ball again, and here we go again with South Australia.
Just unforced errors from WA letting him down as Matthews gets the ball down on the bottom left-hand corner. Rolls back inside, no backup. And luckily no one was sitting in that chair, but if they do now, they'll get a bit of a wet behind as the water just got knocked down all over the place, and a flag on the play too.
Yeah, another cross-check there. Tyson Gill coming off for 1 minute for a major over on that far side. So, yeah, so South Australia, we get another opportunity to have another look at their man up and expect to see a little bit of ball movement here. Bit of an inversion there on the inside, constant shifting.
So Williams to Ross, playing a 1-4-1 South Australia. Down to Williams, Attenborough playing X. Williams again on that bottom left. Look to see Tyler Mead roll out again very soon. Attenborough at X. Oh, they've gone the other way. Cross to the left side. Williams now. Here's Mead now. No one's come out to him again. Oh, the defender did well just to get himself in the right spot there. And well held by Mead.
The WA zone getting a little flat-footed there on the bottom corner, and Mead with that.
Oh, great shot by Williams.
Williams.
Mead gone back inside the crease. Williams has come down, and as he's got it, decided he's going to have a crack. And again, we've had a fantastic view of that hitting the top corner.
Pete, I toiled for 3 hours stringing those goals, and I did it for shots like that. What a shot. He's had the angle on the 45, ripped it up from just under the hip, absolutely caressed the top corner. Perfect shot. And my corner hell, Pete. Looked great, didn't it? We had a great shot on that.
It was beautiful, Tim, and no holes in those nets.
No, mate, they're sensational. But no, great finish there again from South Australia there. Just getting that space. It's those shooters getting clean lines at the moment. But again, as much as we talk about, where those seconds are coming, South Australia putting their shots on the cage.
That's right, yeah.
That's a big thing. It's a good shot, shooting at a good click. Hard to defend that.
Attenborough just letting one slip between his legs, but he's kept it in to the advantage of Western Australia. The young man, Jet Hall, gets free. They've absolutely launched down a Hail Mary. The big men go flying, and it ends up in the stick of Toby Virgo. 6 minutes to go in the game, and South Australia getting a handy 6-1 lead here.
Yeah, WA just not able to get the ball into offense at the moment, looking really unsettled on that ride. And look, 20 seconds to get the ball out. It's still obviously there's that pressure of the clock, but they've got time to slow that ball down a little bit.
Yeah,
and that's not a good option going that heave to the full distance.
Yeah, it's longer than they realise, I think, as Williams slides, goes through the corner, looks up, finds Attenborough, and Attenborough puts one past Lance.
That's a great backdoor cut there. Coming down with a head of steam, really good look on the corner, goes the cross crease pass, hands free, backdoor cut, bang, thanks for coming. Really nice play there from South Australia. And Western Australia wanting to, they need a face-off here. They need a good set, need a possession. You want to see them push into a nice 80-second set. No need to panic here tonight, but it's also important to make sure we're getting that confidence from a West Australian perspective heading into tomorrow's semi-final. But look, South Australia looking pretty irresistible at the moment.
South Australia playing a great team game too. Really playing with their heads up, looking for one another, and making the most of any opportunities. Withholding by Tuxford.
Just probably stayed on the ball a little bit too long there. Head come up, have a look around, withholding all day.
And I've been asked to do a shout out to young Tuxford's dad. So Tommy Tuxford, I know you'll be watching at home. How are you? I hope you're enjoying the coverage live and free on the Australian Lacrosse Network, mates.
And Tommy, look, we are going to we're still investigating our shot clock our speed clock to make sure that I know a touchy point there, Tommy. Make sure we are still looking at the speed clocks here in Western Australia, looking to try and correct that injustice from last year's under 15s.
And doesn't he still talks about that, Tim. Every Thursday night at the club, he's talking about how Caleb was ripped off.
Hey, Philippa, what a save there. That was just showing on the acrobatics, picking that up off the dirt. Not easy to do with that ball kicking back up. That's a really good save down by the young Philippa.
So South Australia again I was going to say they're going to look to settle, but Ross started lining up. He doesn't, but I tell you who does. Christian Valentinic. What a great goal from him. He just stood and delivered.
Whew, downtown, Pete. Downtown. Got himself some space there again. Ripped that one from the outside. Again, it's something that I think we're seeing more and more in Australian lacrosse. It's the shooting percentage, but it's shot on goal. Make the goalkeeper work. And South Australia tonight, a really good illustration of that. Getting their opportunities, getting the ball on the cage. Young Mason making some good saves, young Lance making some good saves, but just that relentless pressure constantly from South Australia, putting him on the 6x6.
So timeout has been called. So just a good opportunity for WA just to go back to basics. Really, for me, I think we need to hear more talk and see more communication from the WA defenders. They really seem to get a bit lost as South Australia are moving in their motions.
Yeah, look, and this is just an avalanche of pressure. This is what pressure does to a defence. I made the quip last night, and it's probably looking a little bit at the same here again. I'm starting to feel like Zoolander, only been able to sort of turn my head left here for a little while, maybe able to go right. Like Western Australia just haven't got a hell of a lot of the ball in their offensive half. Yeah. Defence under constant pressure. Tucks are doing a good job in the middle for South Australia. And when WA have been able to turn those turnovers, they haven't been able to execute on the clear very well. It's all been quite rushed. You haven't seen one when they've been able to do it comfortably. So I wouldn't say, just some concerns there for the coaching staff to look at in terms of, how do we get the ball on our stick and how do we wrest that momentum back? But 8-1 scoreline. Look, Victoria showed it last night. This game can turn if they continue to press. But, hey, South Australia keeps shooting at the click they're doing and showing the composure they're showing on offense. It could also be a long night.
McGurr going down now for South Australia against Leahy. Just as the officials get their feet in the right spot, Tim.
Yeah, making sure that the heads of the stick are aligned. The face-off guys are told to move the stick to the feet of the face-off officials.
Gotcha.
People seem to accuse face-off guys of cheating. I don't know where that's ever come from. It's a spurious allegation that's made. They're the most gentlemanly and honest people in lacrosse, but for for some reason. That's why we have 2 in there.
There you go. McInerney with the ball.
We got a flag down on the far side, so South Australia an opportunity here to kill some time, and really good check. And as you can see, this is that slow whistle in play here. Western Australia picking up the ball, hence now we have the end of the slow whistle and an opportunity for somebody to sit. Looks like that's going to...
Number 1?
Yeah, number 1. Looks like that's going to be Riley Lay there with a hold, taking a seat for a 30-second minor.
So it'll be interesting to see whether South Australia continue to do that 1-4-1 and have the guy from the crease step into a hole created as Williams goes up.
Yeah, they're back into the 1-4-1 here. And look, the beauty of it is the clock stops after a goal here. So you want to see that movement a little bit more as they kick the ball to X, and you can see those crease players dodging down, trying to compress the defence a little bit.
I can see Mead. He just looks at Williams every now and then, waiting for the signal, I think.
Yeah, looking to pop out. And as you can see, he pops out here and creates that extra body on the pass.
Big shot.
Puts that one high.
It has hit the net. That's all right.
Almost another offering to the gods of the Swan River. As you can see here behind here, fish down here don't send to live due to the rubber poisoning from 60 years of lacrosse balls hitting that river. But South Australia now running not long left on that shot clock here. Be just about time for their releases. The shot clock ticks down past 50.
So Mead's out in the bottom right now as the player comes on. So even, great work by WA to hold off the South Australian man up. South Australia scored a couple of man up goals now, so great for WA to make amends there as Williams has the shot, goes wide, backed up.
Yeah, puts that one a little bit wide again. A lot of pressure there pushing down from the outside. South Australia not gun shy to unleash there from the outside.
Attenborough now. Need to watch that bar. That's the one you were talking about.
A little
there,
bit
Tim.
of bar there on that. And you're looking for the benefit of the doubt that you want to see some glove there. And I think you could see him trying to use a little bit of glove there. So really good no call. But he's dancing on the line there.
Yeah.
The minute he gets that bar, you got a metre of solid bar there. You put yourself at risk of a hold or a cross check.
Williams with a shorty. Slides already ready to go.
Probably got away with a little bit of a ward there.
Oh, from downtown.
Wow.
Matt Ross has unleashed from about 20 metres out and put it past. Oh, they've had a goalie change, is it? Ben Mason? No, that is Lance still.
Lance
so
still in there.
no one really expecting the shot from there with the shot clock running out, Tim.
Pete here sent that one in from another postcode. I'd be charging international shipping rates on that one from the outside. Something out of nothing, putting that one on, and just a lot of bodies through that the shot's gone through. So, you know, at night here, can be tough to see at times, but just shooting through just a swath of bodies, it's managed to just squeak on through, and one that the West Australian defence would probably want to have back.
Unfortunately, they can't. 9-1 as we go down to the face-off X again. Tuxford's in there with, I think that is, no, can't see, but picked up by Virgo. Virgo won't mind having a shot here, and that is a great check! Yard sale! Rowan Glass with a great check, and I reckon Lance has backed that shot up. Tim, that was a bit exciting.
That was a fantastic... That was a fantastic trail check there. The minute you see a defender go south of that restraining line running downhill, they're doing one thing, and it was a fantastic bit of patience there to wait for the shot to come and taking the stick with it.
So, yeah, great play, great work there by Glass as he just gets the ball down. Bit of another unforced error by WA, but luckily they come up with the ball. Nice one-handed ground ball there.
Yeah, Western Australia again looking uncomfortable clearing the ball there. Certainly again wasn't pretty. Certainly you wouldn't be hanging it in the Louvre anytime soon, Pete. But you know what? Job done. It's in their offensive half, and we finally get a look at the West Australian offense for what feels like forever.
It has been a long time as Gill has a short stick matchup that he's going to have a crack at. Just gets a bit off balance there, but maintains possession. Gets it down low. That's Tregurtha. He gets it all the way to X. And that'll be Warren, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
up to McCracken. McCracken now, he has a go. Has a player on the bottom right that he can't quite see. EJ Payne just waiting there by himself. McCracken, he's forced his way through and he's put one past Liam Philippa, and that is a great timed goal just to stem the flow of goals from South Australia.
Yeah, really great job there, lining up from the outside, dodging through several players there, looking to try and keep himself sprightly and agile and being able to get it free there. So a really good individual effort there from McCracken to get that goal and to finally get Western Australia back on the board.
So they'll be looking to do that again. Really getting 2 in a row would be really handy at this point in time. Minute 30 left on the clock as the moon just starts to come up past the field there. That's a nice, that might be one you hang in the Louvre, Tim.
Oh, it's feeling quite romantic here all of a sudden, Pete.
All right, there's a flag on the play, so that's going to be a major foul, I would think.
Well, Adam Holmes certainly not feeling the love in the middle there, that's for sure.
No, a 30.
Just a 30-second interference there as the ball's going to go back to South Australia there with a minute 22 on the clock. But, yeah, certainly no love in the middle there, Pete. Certainly not feeling that those moonlight vibes.
Ross now, he's just looking to the coaches for some instruction. Williams down to Attenborough, back to Williams.
Up top, good.
Up to Ross.
Another opportunity here for South Australia to really eke down that shot clock, take some time off the clock. Again, work yourself for potentially the last shot. But the only caveat to that, Pete, is that to shoot the ball really well, why not have more?
Yeah, that's right. Mead finds himself a skip pass.
Ooh,
Bit of heat on that one, but backed up by Vickery. The penalty now ended, so we're back to a 6-on-6 game.
Very little switcheroo there on the back there as the West Australian defence looked to realign. Slipped off of their player. Got away with one there.
Mead getting it down to Attenborough. Mead again. Up to Ross. He takes on the player. He doesn't mind having a shot from no angle. Great save by Lance. Didn't have to do a lot as Ross made that angle way too small. Running down the field is Everall. Everall's been pretty good for WA this half.
Looking slick there on the clear there. Not too dissimilar from his old man who played for Australia back in '94. Real slick mover between the lines.
He's just holding his lower back there, Everall, so hope he's all right. But that is half-time here at Preston Point, home of the East Fremantle Lacrosse Club. The score, South Australia 9, Western Australia 2. Has been a bit of a game of swings and roundabouts, Tim?
Well, a lot of red, Pete.
A lot of red.
A lot of South Australian goals, a lot of South Australian possession. A really nice little mix there through Tyler Mead in particular, getting his hands free a little bit on the outside, looking menacing as always. Matt Ross, Valentic, Attenborough, Williams, the name goes on and on. Vickery with his beautiful little dance move on the bottom corner there to get his hands free. But a lot of South Australia as the team's going to half-time. And, from a South Australian perspective, keep doing what you're doing. Got yourself a bit of a break here. Almost at a point of, hey, let's send a psychological message ahead of tomorrow. Whereas for WA, you know what, that's probably 4 quarters now when you look at halftime yesterday from Victoria into halftime here today. Not a lot of possession. Offensively, just haven't had a lot of it down there. So opportunity to take a breath and hopefully try and get the ball back on their terms in the second half.
Well, as the players take a breath, we might too, Tim. We'll be back real soon with the second half action here at the East Fremantle Lacrosse Club. Welcome back here to Preston Point, home of East Fremantle Lacrosse Club. And just before we get into this second half, Tim, tell us a bit about these goals.
Yeah, so these are the bright gold goals, as you can see here. Have been kindly donated by the Callum and Jake Robinson Foundation. Obviously, well-known story within the community, West Australian community and the lacrosse community. Honouring the legacy of Cal and Jake, and obviously, both incredible human beings. I had the privilege of getting poleaxed by Cal off the wings for many years. Ripper guy, loved him to bits. But these goals just a tribute to these guys, and of course, go to the cjrfoundation.com just to learn a little bit more about them.
Yeah, no, they've done a great job, and as always, our hearts always go out to the family. But a great thing they're doing with these goals, and we really appreciate it. Western Australia started with possession.
That's right. For those at home who perhaps aren't familiar with it, there was a foul on the play there with Western Australia entitled to the ball and retaining possession. Therefore, Western Australia start with it. But Pete just not really able to do anything with it.
No, again, just throwing the ball away, and luckily getting it back through Rowan Glass. He's been really good, Glass, and they will get a fresh shot clock. So that's one positive to think or take from it.
Yeah, get themselves another 80 seconds to have a bit of a look at it. And again, this sends back to that point I made just at half time. Western Australia had a blistering first half yesterday against Victoria, really fell off in the second half, and that's continued into the first half here today. But there's an opportunity here for them just to get some good sets. Again, this result doesn't matter. They play South Australia tomorrow in a semi-final. Let's just get some good sets. Let's get some wins here and remind ourselves that we know how to do it, that we know how to play this game.
That's it. Everell just can't quite hold onto the ball. Osman picks it up. His pass is not great to Bias. Bias tries to get the ball, but Virgo, he is a hoover, gets the ball, goes down. Can he get his pole goal? No, he can't.
Oh, he's making it forward.
Oh.
No, and he's probably used too much of the turf there. That's had that little bit of concrete that we talked about. And it's gone about 1 metre down and about 40 metres over. And we've got a flag down just down here in the corner as we wait and see what's happening.
Well, that's come from the bench, I reckon.
Yeah, a bit of a count here, just in terms of whether or not there may have been too many men on for Western Australia. A bit of a quick conferral, but certainly a flag. No, flag's been wiped off there, so no flag on the play, no foul. Play on.
Play on. I reckon Virgo tried a bit of a leg break in that shot. It did seem to deviate quite a lot.
Went over a bit, but again, no shot clock reset there.
No.
Needs to hit the goalkeeper in the crease.
Yeah.
And needs to be able to touch the pole to be able to get that fresh 80, so no reset there. But the shot clock does stop when it goes out of bounds, though. It stops when it goes out of bounds and they get that ball back. So that's why you'll see that go stagnant.
Ross just getting through for Mead. Mead looks to roll inside of his player, gets the shot away. Has got good hands, Mead. Doesn't need a lot of space to be able to have that shot, but the shot is just going wide there.
No, it moves with purpose. And that's a really big challenge as these players continue to develop. He moves with purpose, gets himself some speed, doesn't back down, and is able to, create opportunities.
Great check by Jet Hall. And it's WA try and get that ball down to their offense. Glass can't quite hold it, but picks up the ground ball. Still with Glass. Has a player downfield. That's EJ Payne. He can't quite hold on to it. Now he's getting absolutely harassed by South Australian players. Back to Glass.
Oh, it was a great
down to Warren.
Great look from Glass there to Payne. Did all the right things, but just spent it before he had it. He'd want to have that one back again if he could, no doubt.
Gill has a short stick. Trying to give himself some space. Gets it across to Tregurtha.
Western Australia looking to space it out a little bit here. Probably all kind of collapsed on the one side. Long passes here at the moment. Probably need to get themselves a little more balanced. As you can see here, just realigning a little bit, getting themselves back into more of a conventional formation as they look to just get everyone a touch and see if they can create something.
Shinsky gets it to Gill, but Filippa too good. You're going to have to make him move if you want to get the ball past him, Filippa.
No, stick side high is not going to get it done on a keeper like Filippa.
Ball now with Banjak. Banjak, can he get a pole goal? He can! He's absolutely ripped that one and said, Toby Virgo, that's how you do it.
Ooh.
Banjak, he will be really happy with that.
He has gotten the hands free and sent down it absolute rocket from that top corner there and absolutely stung the bottom corner. And again, that's just coming back to that point, not to labour the point, but good shooting quality, getting that good shot off, making the keeper work, and not a lot you could do to get the long pole out there, being able to shoot rockets like that.
Yeah, geez, that ball was moving. Matt Banjak from Woodville was one of the captains of that under-16 Aussie team too. So another long pole showing that they can play sixes lacrosse and play long pole lacrosse. So good to see.
Good clash of bodies in there through the middle. That's what you want to see. The guys really putting it on the line as that ball goes loose and wanting to get the head over the ball and pick the thing up.
Great work. Good aggression at the ball from all players, but just coming up with the ball is Everall. Everall for me he's WA's best so far.
No, we're doing a lot of work between the lines there. A really outstanding up and coming young player for Western Australia. Leaning on him quite a fair bit here today, particularly in transition.
Glass gets the ball down to Warren. He gets it to Tregurtha. Back up top. Now ends back with that young man, Everall. Has a short stick. Goes and uses that short stick. Hands are free. The bounce shot isn't bad. Gets down to Warren. Warren goes inside his man. Turns around. Has now Payne. Payne gets it all the way across to Everall. He has another shot. But again, not making Filippa have to work hard at all.
No, he's put that one dead centre of the chest pad. Not really getting his feet set and putting on the purchase on the shot that we know he can.
Filippa's pass is no good. Ends up in the stick of Hall for WA. Hall now has Tregurtha. Tregurtha just doing a little bit of a swim. Flag on the play, so WA has some time. Great save by Filippa. EJ Payne just having that was actually a really good, well-placed shot, but just an equally matched save.
Yeah, just taking a seat there for a slash on that far side, just in that transition play. So we get an opportunity here to have a look at the West Australian man up. And this is one or two, they haven't had a lot of man up opportunities in this game, so a really good opportunity to put that to work against a really good South Australian defence.
So they'll just get everyone into the right spot. Make sure everyone gets a touch. Looks like we're playing a 1-2-3 at the moment to start off with. Ball moving around. Riga gets it high to Glass. Glass gets it down to, what number is that? 99. That's McCracken. Sorry.
That's a good save there. Ball rolls out.
Ball's Western Australia's. Shinsky. Up to Glass. So they've got time. Probably got another 30 seconds to go on the penalty as Warren runs it from bottom right to bottom left. Now with McCracken.
Fresh shot clock to work with here, so plenty of time to be able to try and get something done. South Australia look to continue to press here. They're in a man-down situation, but they're basically playing man on man as Western Australia clump together on the far side.
Glass. Gill gets his hands free, goes low to high.
Oh, that's unforgivable. That's a coach killer.
That is the one that goes down to the gods of the Swan River.
Another offering. Another offering, we call it here. Another offering to the gods of the Swan River as that ball goes down to the hits the river. But that's, Pete, that's a coach killer. You get the opportunity on a man up there, you got to have the backup on that long
100%.
shot.
Yeah. Bias now tries to beat one. He does, beats two. Can keep going if he wants to, but looks across to Matthews. Matthews gets it down low to the bottom left. That'll be Vickery. Vickery now just slowing it up. Now they're just going through their motion, getting everyone a touch.
Yeah, Western Australia, nice sustained period of offence there, but nothing to show for it, unfortunately, for the men in gold. Still trailing this one by 7 with 8 minutes to go in the third.
Matthews, short stick, likes to have a crack. Loses the ball in the dodge. Picked up by Lay. And he, unfortunately, another unforced error by WA. Ball's gone out of bounds and will be picked up by Williams. Just moving the ball around again. Ball with Vickery. Down low at X.
A little bit chaotic there. There's the West Australian defence. Just looking to make a bit of a switch here, get the matchups that they want.
Matthews now rolls inside of his player this time. Doesn't quite get his hands free. Mills gets it down low to Vickery.
So South Australia possibly looking to go through the short sticks here. As overcommitted on that press. Great, that's that great two slide coming across. That's the slide we've been talking about, Pete.
Yes.
That's the one where they anticipate that move. And look, an overcommitted there on the outside there by Hall. Gone for the play, missed. That's created the opportunity for South Australia. But excellent defensive slide there by Western Australia.
Vickery finds a cutter in Mead. Not Mead, Attenborough. Vickery's just been shoved. That'll be in the back. Flags are up.
Yeah, and I think he may have had... It's in the far corner from where we're sitting, Pete, but what I suspect is he may have actually had possession of the ball there when that's happened, as they're just having a quick conferral with the flags having gone down. So that's why you might see the push call coming in here. Oh, they've called a cross-check there.
Cross-check.
So possession becomes irrelevant there, Pete, when you nail a cross-check.
Yep, major foul. That's whether you got the ball or not, it's still a foul. So South Australia will look to run that same 1-4-1, I imagine. Williams will go high, Mead will come out and get a shot. But no, not this time, because Rigalievich has dispossessed, got possession. Now the ball's with Lance. Lance, a long pass down, picked up well by McCracken. McCracken now, he could go if he wants, or he can just get that ball to X until they get their man back on the field.
Yeah, and that's where they're going to probably look to McCracken on that far side to try and start to create for Western Australia. So that's where they're going to want to try and move that ball around and look to McCracken there to get the matchup that he wants. Has the ability to create, which I think is going to be really important. It's just going to be that need for that next pass to put themselves in a good position to get a good shot on Filippa.
So typically you'd be trying to get the ball down to X, but Payne has the ball high. Warren now has the ball up high, and here comes that man, that extra... or the man to make it even, Shinsky.
Just looking a little bit unsteady here, but again, 20 seconds left, an opportunity here. They need to press as Everett looks to try and rip across the top here, get his hands free. Goes on the left there, rips the shot, but Filippo, no trouble supping that one.
Again, another transition play. South Australia doing this really well. Ross could go all the way, gets it down. The pass isn't great, and Vickery can't keep control of it.
What I wouldn't mind seeing there is Everett got that great step at the top, but what seems to be happening, he's struggling to really make any impact on Filippa. He's having to shoot from too far out. I wouldn't mind seeing Western Australia just kick the ball on a little bit, kick it at, draw the play, kick it to X, change the field and go again, because we haven't seen the repeat dodges out of Western Australia in this game, and I think that's what's hurting them offensively at the moment. I
also think South Australian defence really backed Liam Filippa in. With those long shots, so they're not actually throwing that extra slide in. They're just letting him have that shot.
No, it's such a luxury for Anson and his crew and Reese and Anson and the boys to be able to let them shoot. You want West Australia shooting from out there.
That's right. That was a good step by Tyson Gill. Just pushed off his man to give himself some space.
And rips the shot.
Rowan Glass has made something out of nothing. Shot through McInerney, and Filippa had nowhere to... He could not see that at all. That shot was well screened.
No, he didn't have a hell of a lot of room there to nail that one. He's come the corner. He's played some big boy lacrosse, Pete, there. Drawn the contact. Good defence from the South Australian there, holding their position as you come the corner. But Glass turning something out of nothing there and creating the hole where it probably didn't exist on the shot there. Fantastic off-hip finish.
I really like the way, like you say, big boy lacrosse, he's wearing the body, he's wearing the pressure, and just when the defender's about to go for his next push, he turned and shot.
Yeah, an interesting Western Australian bench there, probably looking for the call there on that corner there, but that's probably not a bad no call there, sort of right on the edge there, but Glass initiating the contact as well.
Yeah.
Big boy lacrosse, let him play.
Yeah.
It's a really good finish.
Yeah, good to see. Tuxford had the ball, won the face-off, and it has gone out of bounds. So WA now need to clear the ball. 20 seconds they've got, and they may use every bit of it. A lot of pressure coming towards him. Rigalievich now holds the ball. Yeah, good timeout there. Not too upset with that one. Rigalievich, the long pole, just getting possession of the ball in the offence. And WA get a chance now just to try and get one back. 4 minutes remaining on this third quarter. Score at 9-3, so really get an opportunity now to try and at least one more back.
Yeah, just you want to just, as I say, you're not necessarily looking for. I mean, look, the win would be nice here if you get yourself on a bit of a roll. But I mean, as we've talked about ad nauseum tonight, it's not so much I think a matter of getting the W tonight. I think at this particular point in time, it's an opportunity to see Western Australia get a bit of offensive flow back. Start to get a bit of confidence in what they're doing, a bit of confidence in their structures. I mean, it looks like there's no confidence in that at the moment. Yeah. A lot of their goals have been created from McCracken with an outstanding individual effort, Glass with an outstanding individual effort coming from that corner. They're getting the matchups they want at the top, and they're ripping left and right, looking to try and free the arms up to get that. But you want to kind of see that structure beyond that, because the keeper like Falepa, who they're going to see tomorrow, you're not going to beat him from 15 metres out. No. You're not going to beat him like that. And especially when you go from the night to the day, you're not going to beat him there. So you're going to want to start to see that. I'd like to see as much as I'd love to see WA get back into this game,
yeah,
I think they'd get a hell of a lot more out of going, right, let's get some good, long offensive sets here. Let's win the ball out of the middle. Let's get it through there. Let's eat a big chunk of that, and let's get some confidence back in our structures.
Yeah, for me, I think WA, most of the goals they've got, or the couple of goals they've got, have been from down low, where Liam Falepa has had to really try and make that reflex save. So I'd really like to see them drive or play a two-man game at X. I think you'll be more lucky to get the slide from that, as that ball just about goes out of bounds, and that is what we call in the commentary booth a coach killer.
Oh, South Australian ball as they kickstart the ball there.
One past him, and it was turned over. So the staff will not be happy with that one. Matthews with the ball.
Especially not coming out of a timeout. You want to see that structure. So just an unfortunate turnover. And South Australia again now, probably conversely, just wanting to try and, pad it a little bit here. Let's just get the ball. It's 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Keep pressing, but let's see what they can do.
Ross takes his man on, gets it down low. Ball moves across. Mead at X. Not Mead. Attenborough.
Steps on the inside. Gets the great work cutting through there, creating something out of nothing. But that's that movement I'm talking about, Pete. That's where we've had that really nice dodge off the top. It hasn't been on, and they've had that discipline to hit the X, change the corner, get another look and go again. Set the defence up a little bit. And that's what Western Australia maybe need to start to see a little bit more out of that in their game.
So Nesbitt runs down with the ball, but it's turned over. Bias, he's been a bit of a ball taxi, Bias. Gets the ball down. Good transition play. The shot goes wide, backed up. And I just couldn't see who got that goal, but it was really good transition play there by the South Australians. They did exactly what you said, Tim. Got the ball down low and found the player in the crease. That was really well played.
Yeah, turning heads, that nice little backdoor cut. And, what was particularly impressive on that was just the composure there on the finish to be able to nail that one as he's ripped that through. Max Williams got himself a little bit of space, got the hands free, took a great angle on the cut and had the composure to, take the ball and finish it clinically. Hit the corner. Beautiful, beautiful play by South Australia.
I think it might have been Matt Ross got the goal there. Tim, number 8 for South Australia. Number 5 it was. Max Williams, that's his hat-trick.
He's brought up a third one for this game. No, and it's a nice little balanced offensive set here. A number of weapons at the disposal of South Australia as Western Australia looking to try and press there. Throwing the long pole in the middle, just seeing what sort of set there as Hayden Nisbet gets in there and mixes things up a little bit.
Flag goes up.
Flag in the corner here, just off to our right.
So SA has the ball, so it's going to be against them.
Of course, the clock will stop here with a time-serving penalty. Okay, so the hold there called on Tyson Gill through the middle.
So South Australia had possession of the ball there, but that's all right. Here we go. Matt Ross with the ball. Gets it down low. Williams through Attenborough. Across to Vickery.
If it ain't broke, don't change it, Pete, as they're back in the same set here. Look for Mead to sneak out on that bottom corner.
That's it.
There he goes. Draws the play. West Australia have not reacted. Mead gets himself free. Great
save by Lance. Mead trying to get through, swinging that axe as Lance finds the ball in his stick.
He's got some
Western Australia player comes on, but Osman was all over it. Read that like a book. And now South Australia will get a fresh shot clock.
Oh, he got lured into that one because he probably wouldn't have seen it on screen there. But with the West Australian offense pulling a quick switch, Glass came on, had the look, but then there's such a long pass that South Australia had an opportunity to chop that lane as they're going to look to try and push here. They've got numbers here, Pete.
Another great save by Lance. He gets the ball out to Riga. Riga gets it down there to Warren. Warren just loses possession of the stick. That's going to be withheld. If the ball doesn't come out when the stick's out of the hands, they do call it a withhold of the ball.
Yeah, withholding the play there. Really nice slippery move there. Just got caught at the last second. Really good, solid take, though, there under pressure as South Australia rip one through and Lance gets another piece of that.
Yeah, he stepped up, Lance. He's really having a crack now. Got his eye in. Maybe the lighting's slightly better down that end of the field, but he's just made 3 really good saves.
Nah, not a chance, Pete. It's terrible down there. They're the old lights down there.
Oh, okay.
You want to be up here at this end, I reckon.
South Australia, 70 seconds to go on the shot clock. Plenty of time. Mead with the ball at top. Gets it down to Matthews. Now to that's Williams. Williams is going to have a crack. Takes on his player. Gets it high to Attenborough. Now with Ross. Ross can have a shot. Goes good left and right. Bounces over the goal. And backed up by... Yeah, they are bad down there.
Yeah, right on just on that end line there. But no, bit of power on that shot. I don't mind that one. Got himself a bit of space, got nice and close with the hands free as we have a turnover here. The ball is going to go to Western Australia.
Yeah.
30 seconds left on the clock.
I don't think there was any backup there, so WA with the ball. Probably would love to score one here to make it 10-4 going into the fourth.
Glass cutting across there but being chased down by Virgo.
Gill just sneaks inside.
And there's a foul on the play here, so Western Australia are going to probably start the quarter with the ball. Unless things go terribly, terribly wrong here.
Be worth getting a quick shot away if you got backup. McCracken holds onto the ball, so the flag situation, WA in possession, so you would think that they would start with the ball.
So, yeah, 1 minute slash there on the far side here. So, Western Australia being entitled to the ball. Had possession anyway, but entitled to the ball in any event. End of quarter, kills that anyway. So, what we're going to have is a restart at the start of the fourth quarter with a nice, fresh, crisp 80 seconds, Pete.
Beautiful. They'll be very happy with that, but what they won't want is the one pass turnover. Tim, what WA, they haven't been quite as clean as they could be, and it's costing them on the scoreboard.
Yeah, no, look, and they've got an incredible, they've got a talented list, and I think it's probably not shown through a little bit tonight. Just a little bit finicky, a little bit sort of edgy, just those uncharacteristic, unforced errors, not taking the ball clean on the first opportunity. But, you know, give credit where credit's due. The South Australian defence has been particularly aggressive throughout that, not giving the West Australians a lot of time and space within which to operate. And, you know, it's like smelling like sharks in the water there, Pete, smelling blood. The minute that ball gets just even a little bit loose, they're hanging around, they're putting pressure on them, and they're forcing the turnovers, which has kept Western Australia off their feet. So, you know, for South Australia there, really good, solid 3 quarters. Looking for much of the same here in the last. I think now it's almost put, I wouldn't say they're going to put the cue in the rack a little bit, but I mean, be sensible. Let's be smart. We've got this game where we want them, 7-goal lead. You know, expect us to them to just take a little bit longer on their sets as we move into this last quarter. But hey, let's leave the West Australian man up.
Yeah. Look, they've got 60 seconds of man up, 80 seconds on the shot clock. So, yeah, a good offense here. Could see them come out to the fourth with a bit of pep. But do these young lads, do they play much lacrosse in the night?
Not a lot. So we're starting to see a lot more state league games. There's a lot more clubs, particularly in Western Australia, come on board with lights. I know it's certainly pushing a little bit, and I think we're fortunate to have a lot of our clubs. Phoenix Lacrosse Club probably got some of the best lights in the country.
Great.
They've got some absolutely sensational ones there. I know Bayswater's, done a bit of work down there as well. So I think, that may be something that comes out of this as an opportunity to play more under 17s ball. More we have under 17s, I guess, as our sort of junior division. A bit more of an opportunity there to play a little bit more under lights. But I mean, they train under them, they move it, they do it themselves. So, not really an excuse for any of the guys out in the field here tonight.
Glass starting with the ball for this Western Australia power play. One pass, gets it back to Glass.
Yeah, look for McCracken out here on the 45 to try and get his hands free to rip, if he can, as Western Australia sort of move. A little bit of back-end movement. They're starting in a 1-4-1.
So it's Warren, Glass and McCracken just at the top playing catch. Here's McCracken, gets it high to Glass. They're making the defence move here, which is good. Warren ends up with the ball down on the bottom corner. Goes back high to Warren. Gill at X. The ball's turned over. That's not what the WA coaches would have wanted.
And that's a really crisp man down set from South Australia there. You saw that rotation there. Every time a West Australian received the ball, even with that movement, they were greeted by a defender in red. Did a really good job there of shutting that one down. And that's that crispness in their skill level at the moment. That's probably, just a little bit off tonight, but, you can get that back tomorrow.
Philippa's made a fantastic pass to Matthews, who's ran the ball down to offence. Williams now with the ball on the bottom right-hand corner, just settling the play, waiting for the personnel. Vickery's just come on. He's going to get it over to Matthews.
Love the off-ball stuff in the middle there. Me going at Evans on the inside there, looking for the chop out from the Zebra crew, but not getting one tonight.
Williams, he's got Glass. Glass has been great tonight. Oh, the old Rusty Gate attempt by Glass. Ball moves around. Bias now has a long pole. Goes high, goes underneath, tries to push his way through, but just the sheer size difference. Great trail check. The flag's gone high. And what's the call here, Tim?
I think he's going to call a hold here. Hold, 30 seconds there, yeah.
So, I mean, that looked good to me, Tim, but he was holding his player, not allowing him to run.
Probably just positioning a little bit there.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe utilising the stick portion of it a little bit more than the body. Really hard for us to get a look at it from the position that we're in. Officiating crew right on the corner there, but probably saw a little bit more stick than body in that as the guy was looking to try and come the corner.
So South Australia still running this 1-4-1. Here's Mead's move. Williams turns, looks at Mead. The player's there. They've got it down now to Attenborough. They're moving the ball well, South Australia. Williams now gets it to Ross. Ross shoots from a long way out and puts that bomb straight into the back of the net.
I'll take that overseas delivery again from Ross. Shooting again from West Fremantle. Popping that one up high. And look, just a powerful shot there again. Shooting low to high, using the grass to mask the shot. But putting that on cage from distance, that is a skill that I cannot emphasise enough, especially for the kids at home there. Shooting from the outside looks great, ripping those ones, Pete, but you've got to get the shot on the cage. And South Australia have been really good at it tonight.
Great example of having a structure. That 1-4-1, that first move's been really effective, but WA are all over it now. So they've gone into stage 2 and clearly found Matt Ross with some space at the top.
Look, and that's clearly what they're looking to try and do, sort of throw those extra guys on the outside to try and offset the rhythm of that rotation a little bit. And he got his hands free and did a really nice job with it.
Great work by Tuxford to see South Australia with possession. Great clean face-off from him. Ball goes across down the bottom now to Attenborough. Attenborough to Williams, has Mills up high and uses him. Mills gets it over to Kernigan. Kernigan over to Matthews. A lot of pressure out there on Matthews. He's asking for some help.
Yeah, nice, as I say. Look, a nice long set here from South Australia, looking to show that poise, and there's probably been a little bit of the difference there. South Australia taking some time on the outside with a nice little rip on the inside. It's gone on the outside there, but turning on a dime.
Great work by Attenborough to get the ground ball. And a lot of pressure, a lot of emotion out here. Attenborough gets the shot away. And there is flag after flag after flag. The coaches here from WA are not happy at all. So it'll be interesting to see what these calls are.
Yeah, I think you can see there's going to be that first one there. And I think I could see, look, you got to have the ball. You don't have the ball, you're going to get fouls called against you, right? You increase the chances. Let's start with that as the proposition as we wait for the call. All right, so 1-0's got a slash there for Western Australia. But I think what's happened off the back here, which I think is... Okay, so we got 2 fouls there that have come through, and I think what's maybe tipped the WA bench off the side, I don't know if you caught it on the camera there, was that moving pick that's come in off the side where the South Australians come through. So I think the first call's potentially there. Then there's that second call coming in from the South Australian who's come through with South Australia in possession. He's come through and taken out a guy there. Then you got that second one off the back there. Now, those ones are going to pop up from time to time in that unsettled play. And I think South Australia probably got away with one there in the middle.
Yeah.
In terms of that middle offside play there. But again, it's all positioning. And I mean, look, at the end of the day, West Australia can be upset with the calls. But with South Australia having the time and possession that they got, that seems to be the bigger problem at the moment.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And they can, you're right, they can feel like the calls aren't going their way. But yeah, it's a good point you make where if you've got the ball, then all the pressure's on the other team, isn't it?
Well, that's exactly right, and I think that's where that focus needs to be now. And again, that's just that composure bit. Okay, you've had a couple that are going against you here. And, West Australia probably just need to be a nice little bit of a composure. And you know what? I'd be more worried talking about how my rotation's going on defence here, because now's a real big opportunity. West Australia's second slide on this man up hasn't worked tonight.
Yep.
Mead's been having a field day
absolutely
on
has,
that bottom corner.
Yeah.
So here you got an opportunity. You got a nice long set. Okay, so Western Australia going to probably be man down here for the next 2 minutes with 2 cross checks. Opportunity here for Western Australia. Let's get that rotation going. Let's start killing that man down that South Australia's done a good job with.
Does the shot clock get reset?
So the shot clock, they will get themselves a fresh 80 here.
Great. All right.
So we're just waiting. I've read that as 2 1-minute fouls, so I'm expecting 2 minutes of time here.
Yes.
And I think they've both gone on Finn Everell.
Yes,
so I think Western Australia will have that. So as we have a look at those numbers here, no, we've got 4 on the field. Okay, so I think they've split them out here. 2, they'll be man down for a minute, but they're in a 4-man zone.
Gotcha. South Australia moving the ball, not as crisp as they have been. That is absolutely a bit of a moving pick there. But
no, I don't mind that, Pete.
No?
Ball's loose within 3, hit the player. That's good. That's man ball.
Gotcha.
Don't mind that one.
Great cut by Mead, great feed, but the ball goes loose. Picked up, that's a good bump. Picked up by nobody now. And another flag. Another flag. This will be a major.
Just waiting to see what the foul's going to be here. I'm going to have a feeling that this is going to be...
So loose ball push, I think, is what one official's calling. So we might have a simultaneous foul situation.
I got a flag. Yeah, this is what they're just trying to figure out at the moment. Because you got the flag down, so we're looking at a major foul here. If the flag's gone down with that ball loose, then the official's seen a major foul. Mm-hmm. We've had the early soft signal come in from the far side as a push, which of course would be a minor because everybody's read the rule book. We all know that, Pete.
That's right.
So we're just waiting to see here what the call's going to be. South Australia, you said slightly different set there. Didn't start in the 1-4-1.
No.
Went in the 1-3-2. Mead on the inside there, looking to try and I mean, look, that's not a bad play. Wouldn't mind him going back to the 1-4-1 there when you're playing a 4 zone. Like the 4 zone, big gap in the middle, go the 1-4-1 and do some damage from top here.
So we've had a cross-check called on a South Australian player, and it looks like...
I think the first home's going to be going in the box here because they haven't been able to identify who it is. So what I'm thinking is that's going to be first home taking a seat. And now we're going to be 5-on-5 here for a little while.
Well, there's still an extra South Australian out on the field. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's...
Well, Western Australia were down to the
4.
Sorry, they were down to the 4.
Yep.
Sorry, we just can't count here. So lucky I only got 4 fingers. Don't count the thumb. So
the WA with Glass just holding that ball
And
out.
here they go. So now Western Australia are going to go into a six-man zone. They're going to go up now, man up for about 30 seconds.
So McCracken will have the ball down on that bottom left.
We're going to start getting in the line.
We're going to try and
Chinsky.
in a 3-3 there. No man on the crease. Just swinging a couple of guys to the crease now. Looking to try and get a few inversions there. A lot of movement here in the West Australian man up. Glass with the ball up high. South Australia rotating well.
Everall just sneaking into the crease and out again.
Got to move it quickly. Got to move it quickly if they want to try and get free there.
Oh.
Oh, Spence, what mama gave him before he got it. Had himself free on the outside there. Tyson Gill ripped a couple of beauties last night.
Yeah. Yep. So all even now. So after a little bit of chaos, we're back to 6-on-6. Loose ball push goes the way of Western Australia. So after a whole lot of chaos, hopefully WA can just get some settled 6-on-6 play now.
Yeah, they've given a reset there, so South Australia may have taken possession of the ball at some point during that melee to be able to get that reset.
Called award there, so a very short 6-on-6 play from WA as
drops the hammer on the far side there.
Matthews. No, not Matthews. That's 13. That's Clothier. Clothier, as he did the little goose step, the WA fella fell over.
Done all the hard work there and thrown the ball away when he's gotten to the other side. Unfortunate effort there, but really nice transition play getting that ball out for South Australia as WA now. Probably the most settled we've actually seen him on the clear here. As looking to try and clear the ball up here. South Australia giving him all that space, looking to potentially try and jump them around the middle of the field. Nice cut up.
Yeah, really, really good. I liked Lance coming up there to make the pass shorter. So great.
But what you see there, Pete, and I think what was really good on that was Tregurtha coming up from the bottom there. Their attack have probably been a little stagnant on that clear. You want to see them sweeping up a little bit more and giving more options.
So Gill with the ball now, has a short stick, gets it down low to Glass. Glass gets it across to Warren. Has McCracken, looks him off. McCracken's still there. Warren gets it over to Shinsky. No, Tregurtha. Glass now. Oh, that
is a beautiful
bit of a
check.
Yard sale. I think they're going to call him playing the ball without
Playing
his
the ball
stick.
without a stick there. Absolutely.
So
the old legal procedure there.
he, I think all he was trying to do was pick his stick up, but unfortunately he made connection with the body. So Clothier now just running down, gets it down, makes amends for that bad pass before. Attenborough now gets it down low to Williams.
As we hit the 60-second hiss, the over and back is now on for South Australia as we approach 7.5 clicks here. South Australia leading this one by 8 goals.
Matthews has the short stick, doesn't mind a long shot, passes it down low.
Well taken there on that bottom corner.
Gets it across to Williams. Williams takes on the long pole, goes high. Great check. Still with South Australia though. Ross, he scored a couple of long bombs. Gets down low. Down to Mills.
Mills got Williams here just a little bit high. A little bit of movement at the top here. A little bit of picking.
Mills is going to have a crack against Glass. Glass has been good.
Yeah, probably not the shorty I'd be having a crack at there.
But I like the way he went to go. And I think the defence moved in and Matthews got a shot off.
No, they did a good job of closing the door there, Western Australia, but probably not the matchup that I'd be looking for.
No, 100%.
SA have had some success here going against the long sticks as Williams steps on the inside and rips that one. Lance with a fantastic job sliding across.
Matt Ross doing a good job to avoid getting hit by that one.
Yeah, no. You see, you try and isolate the short sticks, but South Australia's strength is their offence has been so good.
Yeah.
They've enjoyed a bit of success against the West Australian long poles here today. So I think we had a bit of a shot. It's a shot clock violation there. Looks like they've gone into a manual count, and they've called that out. They've counted that down. So just correcting for a shot clock error as they've gone through that. As you've got a flag on the play as well. As I just have a look on the far side, wait and see what's happening here. So you've got a timeout on the play. Okay, so we have an offside here. Who's that? Who's gone over there? Max Williams there. Going offside for South Australia. So he's going to sit for a 30-second minus. So Western Australia going to go back into man up here. And Pete, still 3 goals for the game. Probably going to look to try and see if they can move that ball a little bit in offense and see if they can eat into this lead.
Yeah, just the 3 goals. They won't be very happy with that at all. They've probably had enough possession to score more, but the shots they've had have not really made Falepa work hard for his saves, and he's too good a goalie. You have to get on top of him, or you have to make him move, and they just haven't been doing that.
Yeah, and that would have been part of the South Australian game plan. You know, like you say, they have a tremendous amount of confidence in Falepa. And the distances in which you can shoot on him. And I think they'd be happy giving up those shots all day from the outside. Like you say, Falepa's a really good goalkeeper. They're happy with the outside shots that are going through there. And that's where Western Australia probably needs to start to look to that ball movement a little bit. You know, what we haven't seen from Western Australia tonight is a lot of shots from the inside.
Yeah.
You know, turning the heads, moving the ball, draw and dump, kick and dump, sort of that reload offense. And you know, I wouldn't mind seeing them just maybe at this point with a man-up perspective. There's been a lot of movement here, but not a lot of shot creation. Yeah. So let's mix it up. You know, let's see if they can do. Let's see what else they've got in their bag of tricks. And hey, maybe they're keeping a couple in their sleeve for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's quite possible too. But the good news for Western Australia is they do get to have another crack, and so they can while the score isn't probably what they would like, they can walk away going, you know what, tomorrow's a new day.
As they're in a 1-4-1 here. A little bit of movement here, as you can see, a couple of inversions as they look to try and rotate it through now. Still with one drop back to 1 on the crease here for Western Australia. Looking to try and get McCracken free on the outside here, but South Australia would have identified that in their pre-game planning, that McCracken's probably dangerous from the outside there. And again, that's not the shot that you want there against Falepa at this point of the game.
Glass has been good, but Falepa's going to eat those up all day as Ross picks up the loose ball.
Watch your back, Finn.
Now a man down for probably not too much longer. South Australia.
They've killed most of that, I would have thought. Here, South Australia, they've got, there's a flag down here, I think.
Bias with the ball, has a short stick. That's Everall.
So I'm
Matthews.
Not sure if there's been an offside or something, but there's a flag down in the trail position.
Matthews still with the ball, getting pushed out pretty good by Regalievich.
Pops that one wide, and we'll see what the call is here. Quick conversation going on here in the middle here by the on-field official Highwood and CBO tonight, Rick Smisson. Okay, so there's no flag on the play there. The ball is going to stay with South Australia.
I don't mind when referees do that, Tim. You know, they're human just like the players, and mistakes can be made.
Absolutely.
I'd rather them say, you know, we made a mistake than make something up.
No, you want to get the call. Primarily,
you
get the call right. That's the focus there. And done a good job there getting that corrected.
So Williams now has a crack from X.
Great check.
Ball's loose.
Barneveld Lab there with a really nice piece.
Regalievich, great ground ball, gets the ball to Lance. Lance, long pass. It's actually paid off this time to Lay. Ball's loose now though, but Lay can pick it up. Good work by young Riley Lay there.
Yeah, did all the hard work there, missed but just not connecting on that pass. Got to give that up, making it sort of work a little bit too hard there. Tyson Gill on that far side, and South Australia going to come up with the ball here again with a transition turnover.
So South Australia have really used their shorties well on the clear. Bias again, another clearance for him. He must have at least half a dozen. But again, they do the hard work, Tim, and all that work is spoiled by a bad pass.
Yeah, no, the turnover there, really great job of jumping the lane there, Jet Hall.
McCracken gets it down low on the bottom left. He's being covered by Banjak.
Like this matchup here, 2 U16 players from Korea. Know each other's game well. Obviously, Banjak exchanging the weapons there and bringing out the 6-foot pole tonight.
Gill thought he was going to line up his opponent.
As the breeze continues to pick up here at Preston Point Oval, as that doctor is most certainly in.
Glass gets the ball to Warren. Warren's been a bit quiet tonight, Tim.
Yeah, no, he has a hell of a player, incredible player.
yeah.
So really on that young side.
Yep.
So it's one to watch out for I think next year for WA. Real creator here. But I think where South Australia have done a really good job is, pressing and just not giving any of the West Australian attackers that space to operate tonight.
Great work by Warren, though, to cut off that run by Bias. Bias turns and finds a long pole. Could be Virgo.
Let's go on, Cooper! Let's go
No.
on, Cooper!
Yeah, it is Virgo. Williams picks the ball up, falls over, gives it down to Virgo. He's the goal. He couldn't get the one from in front, but he has gone the reverse shovel shot with his long pole and scored a goal, Virgo.
That's the defensive equivalent of the seagull, Pete. He's come all the way down at his crack, hung around for a little bit, waited for it to come through, and the old 6 foot pole attacker there sneaking on the corner, making sure he gets a little lick of the ice cream tonight as well.
Nah, good on Toby Virgo. He's had a pretty good game, and while he might not have hit those shots early, he's got on the scoreboard. He probably averages about a goal a game, I reckon, Toby Virgo. He doesn't mind having a shot.
No, look, he did a good job there hanging around, and look, I'll give him the credit there on the finish there, but you got to drill into those long poles. You have your crack, and then you get out of the offense.
That's it.
But no, really good job. He's had a really, really good week for South Australia. Real up-and-comer and a name to watch.
He's going to be a great player for Australia. As Everall just gets called for a ward there.
Yeah, no, he leant into that one. I didn't quite get the angle on whether the arm came off from where I was sitting, but every other piece of that body movement seemed to scream ward.
Yeah.
Next time!
So,
yeah, back down into offense here, South Australia, as we quick over. Just over 2 minutes to go here, South Australia with a 9-goal lead. Matthews hungry for some more here. Everyone's still wanting to make sure they get a shot here, keeping the pressure on. And, they're at this point here from a psychological perspective where, you got the foot on the throat of WA. You probably want to leave a real stamp on them heading into tomorrow.
Again, Matthews at the top, has a shorty, does a little goose step, beats one, beats
Slippery.
two. What a beautiful play, Attenborough getting that ball after some slick work from Matthews, and Attenborough giving it the old up and under.
Oh, Jake Matthews giving it the old slip there through the inside, stepping in between two defenders, and that is a really nice piece of shot creation from South Australia. And that's what they've done really well tonight, created the opportunities for their teammates, and having that sense to be able to slip through two defenders, draw the double, and find that guy on the inside, and again, a really nice finish. Can't emphasise that enough. The man on the end there taking that, getting it on the cage. And as I say, it's sort of creeping into that. Of course, tomorrow's matchups, you start the day with Victoria versus Victoria, eh? You and I probably don't mind a little bit of Victoria on Victoria Prime. No, we're happy to lock the kids in a room and let them sort it out amongst themselves.
That's it.
So we'll be up first up with that. That'll be the first boys game tomorrow. But, of course, these two sides will do battle here again tomorrow in a semi-final where they will be battling for a place in Sunday's final as South Australia look to defend that title. But that's where there's that opportunity there from South Australia. They've, shown a bit of intent here in these last 2 minutes. They've got WA down, and they have no intention from the looks of things of letting them back up.
That's it. Toby Virgo gets a ground ball. Can he get another one? Whistle on the play. There's a timeout. Oh, that'll be timeout South Australia. So great work by South Australia just to finish on a bit of a high. About a bit over a minute to go in this game. And, hopefully we see a cracking game tomorrow. I think WA would have learned a lot from tonight.
Look, they would have. I think, the issues that I think we've seen from WA tonight, they can be fixed tomorrow, 100%.
Yeah.
Obviously, big crowd, under lights, certainly not an excuse moving to a night game. WA played last night, should be acclimatised to that, but they can tidy up those little skill things, a little bit through the day. There's a lot of unforced turnovers today. They can tidy up those skill things, but I'd also be sort of having that conversation with that defence. And I think the defence has probably been a little flat-footed tonight. Haven't necessarily been up and about them, and I think that's been one of the big differences with the South Australian defence tonight. They've been up about. They've rotated really well. Really done a good job of not giving the West Australian playmakers an opportunity to make plays.
Yeah.
Whereas, South Australia have not been afraid to go through the long poles, not been afraid to sort of be really aggressive in that attack to get past their player. And they've done a good job on that tonight. So, they'll look at that tonight and be interesting little 75 seconds here, Pete. You know, does South Australia, as I say, how much do they want to leave an indelible mark on Western Australia ahead of tomorrow? Or are they going to, slow it up a little bit and just put the cue in the rack? So let's see what they've got in store for us.
So you did mention Anson Carter being a bit of an aggressive coach. So will he attack the cage?
I mean, look, I'm not going to take a guess here because as much as Anson's an aggressive player, he's a smart lacrosse coach as well.
Absolutely.
So. And as you can see here, South Australia looking to try and play it out. Opportunity to look at a play.
Yep.
I've really liked the game of Hall tonight. He's been the one defender I think that's really stood out to me for Western Australia.
Yeah.
He's done a really good job tonight of really taking the game on, particularly in transition, been sprightly, been doing a lot for them.
And the intensity on ground balls from both teams as well has been really good.
Yeah, they started off, I think there was probably a little bit too much running over the ball, hitting the player for my liking.
Yeah.
But I think as this game's worn on, I think we've seen these guys really throw themselves into the mix a little bit more, which has been good to see.
So WA now with a chance to finish this game with the last shot. Can they get a goal? We don't know. We're about to find out. Glass with the ball.
The clock is on as they are with it under 30 seconds as we've got a flag down on the far side. Oh, there's that patent West Australian bounce there, Pete. Gone 3 foot over the cage on that shot.
It could equally have gone 3 inches above the floor.
Yeah, no, the clock definitely on here. I can just see them in there now. So we are well under 12 seconds to go.
So say they've got 10 seconds. Put a quick play together. Your quick 30-second man up.
Absolutely.
Just to get a shot off.
Get a shot, set a pick, to be able to play the two-man game. Just get some movement here, set a pick, and let rip one last time.
Not a lot of urgency. There's the shot, and it's gone out the back.
Out the outside. They got the shot off here, and that's the game, Pete.
Oh, that is the game. It was a pretty good game. I didn't mind the intensity, but just the unforced errors in the end of the day, letting Western Australia down. South Australia taking this game 13-3. These two teams do meet up again tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see how both teams come out. Will South Australia show a few extra tricks? Will WA make the matchups changes that they need to make? Will they clean things up? I'm really looking forward to this matchup tomorrow, Tim.
Yeah, no, look, I think it's going to be a really, really good one. I think it's what I think is really exciting about this one is, it is Western Australia, South Australia, right? It's a rivalry that, we remember playing in, we really got up for. And as I say, little fixes there from the West Australian side. I think they're going to do a really good job. Hopefully overnight. They know now roughly where I think they need to try and pick up the game a little bit.
Yep.
As I say, not impossible to fix, Pete. And, South Australia would have liked what they saw tonight from their guys, and I think they'd be looking to try and go, right, if we bring that same intensity tomorrow, let's do that. But the one thing South Australia aren't going to want to do, I think, is look past tomorrow's semi-final.
No, hell no.
There's a Victorian side that either way is going to be waiting on the other end of that.
Yep.
But, that's going to be the risk now for South Australia. Great performance tonight. Do what they did tonight. Tomorrow, they'll probably come out with the chocolates.
Yeah.
But look past another one of these states. That's where you get done in these competitions.
Yeah, I've seen it before, actually, at Brighton. My daughter was playing in South Australia A, and they beat Vic A during the week. And I remember her saying, I can't wait till we beat them tonight. I thought to myself, uh-oh. And sure enough, Vic A come out and beat him in the final, and that was all she wrote. So, yeah, absolutely, Tim. You cannot be looking further than the game at hand.
No, look, and that's what I say, Pete. We're looking forward to a really nice day. Semi-final day, Easter Saturday, down here, a little bit cooler. Love the East Coast friends of mine. Reaching for the sunscreen today. A few little red berries running around, complaining about the heat, whereas a lot of us locals are running around in jumpers. No, look, a big day tomorrow, obviously, for those at home, as we just wait for the MVPs to come in on the men's side. As I say, starting the day, Vic A, bit of Vic on Vic crime. Looking forward to that one in the morning. And then, WASA meet again in the semi-final, of course, winners progressing through to the final for the championship. Whereas on the women's side of the draw, that's been a cracking draw. South Australia,
unreal.
At the moment, the clear favourite heading into that. But the big difference for the viewers at home this year, Waikato can bring home the chocolates this year. Waikato can come and take the tournament.
Yes.
For the first time in history.
I have heard that, yeah.
So, and that's been really good because there's been no games off so far. We've seen that through the week. So South Australia would have to get over a plucky Waikato team tomorrow in that semi-final, whereas WA and Victoria go head-to-head. And, hey, and the Divi 2 comp's always an absolute cracker, right?
Absolutely.
SAA girls have gone through to the final on Sunday.
They have,
yep they've
confirmed.
Gone through. As we say, we had to go to the fourth tiebreak on that one.
Did you? Yeah, right.
The fourth tiebreaker. So we've gotten to that point there, and Vic A will take on the Valkyries, the
Yes,
Lacrosse Australia
yep.
Valkyries,
Yeah.
who've done a really great job here. I still think they've got the best uniforms in the league down here. They look like an absolute treat. But yeah, no, look, we'll wait and see how that all plays out. Plays out tomorrow, Pete. Big day.
Big day tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. MVPs, you got your eye on anyone, Tim?
Look, Western Australia, I think when I look through it, I mean, as I say, the South Australian offence today was really good. Maxie Williams, I think, was a clear standout for me. 3 goals, 5 assists. Did a really, really good job. I think he was dangerous. He was dangerous all day for them.
Yeah.
Did an absolutely sensational job. So I think, Max Williams for me was really good. Liam Philippa did a great job, did what he had to. Didn't have to really stand out tonight in the cage. I don't think he was particularly tested.
No.
But you know what? You still got to stop the shots that you see coming out of that with the 3 goals in a championship game. Really good effort here by Philippa in the cage. So he did really well. And, for Western Australia, challenging one to sort of try and find, as I say, Jed Hall, I think, did a really good job in defence, looking in transition, trying to push the ball. Finn Everall, Ron Glass, did a little bit between the lines there, really tried to shoulder that load. But, relatively bleak night for WA, not one that they're going to be hanging in the Louvre anytime soon.
No, I wouldn't have thought. No, and I did see Will Frencham limping around as well. So that's
Big out for
not,
WA.
Not great.
Big out for WA.
Unlucky for him. I hope he pulls up
Oh,
okay.
look, he's an engine that powers a lot of what they do, so that's
Yeah.
definitely a big out. It'd be interesting to see. They'll be hoping they can get him back for tomorrow's game.
Absolutely.
As we just wait and see for the MVP as they are just sorting things out, as we can't quite see from where we're sitting here. But there's Afik Jackson here. First time head coach here for Western Australia, doing a really nice job.
Yeah, good. It's great to see some new faces in the coaching fraternity.
Yeah, absolutely here. That depth chart getting deeper and deeper by the day as...
That's Max Williams, I reckon.
Might be...
Bryn Bias. Bryn Bias, ball taxi. Up and down the field all day, ran the ball down.
Did a really good job for him, didn't he? Worked his
did.
backside off the entire game. Just waiting here for the Western Australian MVP as...
And it is...
Sitting over here at the side. Looks like that's Barneveld Lab, I think, might have snagged that one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, played a really nice game in defence today. Did a really good job in those one-on-ones. Held his own all day for them today. So, but yeah, no, look, Pete, thanks for having me here today, mate. It's going to be a good day, exciting day tomorrow, and hopefully a little bit of cat and mouse. Let's see what WA can pull out tomorrow in semi-final day.
It's going to be a big day of lacrosse here at the Preston Point, home of the East Fremantle Lacrosse Club. My name's Peter Greenholz. I've been joined by Tim Kennedy. Blake Billsborough working hard in production, and not sure who we had on.
I think we had the Seagull,
camera.
Jackson Bivey, up on the up in the camera booth.
The Seagull.
Tonight, so
there you go. So stay tuned. Join us tomorrow on the Australian Lacrosse Network for a massive, massive semi-final day where we're going to have a whole lot of lacrosse coming to you live and free. So I'll join you tomorrow for